Good morning, Rabun County. It's Roger Glenn with POS Realty. We're here today with Carlton Chamblin, who is the CEO, curator, founder, owner, operator, and sort of the master, is distiller a fair word for what you do? Or?
You know, whenever I'm asked for a title I like, it's agent of hospitality.
There you go, agent of hospitality, right? Of Farm2Cocktail.
Roger, thank you for having me here. I appreciate that. And such a warm welcome.
We try. You deserve it. We're really glad to be here today to share a little bit of your story and the story of the business that you founded. It's a great asset for Rabun County.
Thank you.
And so for folks that have been, asleep for the last 15 years or so, or maybe are brand new to Rabun County or thinking about coming up, can you just talk to us about sort of how you founded the business and what it is?
Well, oftentimes Rabun County is referred to as the farm-to-table capital of Georgia.
Yes.
And when I was invited here to work at one of the most fabulous restaurants on Main Street, Fortified Kitchen and Bar, we would make cocktails on a weekly basis, and one of them was shrubs. People often ask, what are shrubs? Shrubs are drinking vinegars, and I enjoyed the aspect of taking whatever in-season fruit existed, sugar and vinegar, and adding all of those aromatics and spices, and people just thought they were the most refreshing things, even though I didn't invent shrubs. It was a great product to create. And during that time, here we are in the Northeast Georgia Food Bank, they were developing a commercial kitchen that entrepreneurs, chefs, other small businesses could use to package and process goods and then make them available for wholesale. Thus, the idea Farm2Cocktail was created so that I could professionally bottle these shrubs that were so in demand at the bar.
Yeah. It's a great name and a great story. What about your personal history and story with Rabun County? Why Rabun County?
Well, during the time of 2016, I was actually living in Brazelton, about an hour and 10 minutes away. And I accepted a job, as I mentioned, here in town. And I was commuting back and forth for a good 4 or 5 months. That hour and 10 minute was very pleasant. You know, there's that part when you're exiting Habersham County and getting to see the Blue Ridge Mountains in the distance, and your heart just begins to regulate. You begin to breathe slower. And that kind of lifestyle and living just became, addicted. And I decided to move here.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you did. For lots of reasons.
Thank you.
Can you talk about the product line and kind of what you currently offer, and then your distribution a little bit, if you will?
Sure. So again, shrubs, from an Arabic word, sharab, means beverage or to drink. And wanting people to enjoy a good cocktail is everything to me. You don't always have to go out to celebrate and to imbibe. I wanted people to be able to have mixology made easy. So therefore, the line of syrup flavors from strawberry peppercorn, there's a little savory note with the peppercorn, but yet strawberry, sweet just in season. Cucumber mint, you begin to think gin drinkers, or adding a little bit of a brightness to a Bloody Mary. Vanilla pear, picking up the nice caramel as well as bourbon flavors that you would have in old fashioned. Blueberry lemongrass, again, vodka being a neutral spirit goes really well with most flavors. And then finally, we have peach lavender. But on the horizon are two other flavors on the road. Back in people's homes will be our cranberry orange spice, which is or was a seasonal flavor, but because of its great demand, we're gonna make that a year-long flavor. And then coming out soon is the blackberry rosemary. We're here in the commercial kitchen with Ryan Cochran with New Moon Kettle. Ryan is my co-packer, and what we're preparing here today is the upcoming flavor, blackberry rosemary. When making shrubs, you have to allow the cane sugar, the fruit, and the vinegar to process, and he's already had all the flavors combined, and we're just heating it up and doing another strain before getting ready to bottle it.
And as it relates to folks that want to partake of your wonderful and masterful creations, they can do that at a lot of retail establishments in terms of being served in a restaurant, as well as buying it out.
I've been very fortunate in the fact that my friends who own businesses have chosen to not only retail the Farm2Cocktail shrubs, but also serve them if they have the access of creating mixed drinks as a part of their menu.
Yeah. And what about folks that aren't local to the area? Can they purchase online and have
Definitely.
it shipped? Okay.
So an aspect of creating the business was definitely how to get the product out there, how to get what I wanted to accomplish with mixology made easy, if you will, into people's homes. So we do have a website. It is Farm2Cocktail.com. On that site, people are able to receive free shipping. They'll receive their order. I love to personally write a thank you note along with that order. Also, I have a distributor, so there may be cities around the country that will carry the product, and I try to keep that list of stores available on our website, as well as using social media.
Yeah.
So I just want more people to find out about shrubs and the fact that they can enjoy a great cocktail or even mocktail. One of the great things about these flavored syrups is that you can just add them to soda water, maybe a squeeze of lemon or lime, and instead of going to a bar if you're expecting or in recovery or just not in the mood to actually drink, ask for a nice shrub mocktail.
There you go. So the difference between a cocktail and a mocktail.
Yes.
There you go. It's all very clever wording. Unusual question for you, but I have talked a lot about Rabun County as kind of an ideal place for entrepreneurs.
Most definitely.
To come, and you talked about some of this. Could you just share, a little bit of your experience as a sole proprietor, if you will, somebody that started a business and is now, growing at a pretty significant rate, what that experience has been like for you?
Definitely. The community of small business creators in Rabun County is expanding by leaps and bounds. Whether you are an artist creating wonderful masterpieces and selling them at event fairs, or perhaps you are a chef wanting to start a food truck and be available as different visitors, or the normal residents are wanting to have something outside of the ordinary. The incubation of that mindset is just rampant here, and there's always been sort of a liveliness and a magic and a mystique about this area. And I think one of the benefits of that mystique is to grow and expand businesses.
Yeah, and it seems extraordinary to me that to some degree, the business community really works together, and there's much less of a sense of competition and more co-opetition, and folks helping one another just to help grow some of these businesses. And that, to your point, you used the term incubation.
Yes.
I think is one of the things that is really special about Rabun County as a place to work.
I agree.
Not just live.
No, I agree. The collaborative nature of people working together allows that creation and that creativity to expand. I would not be where I am right now if it were not for the collaborative efforts of other small businesses, restaurants, artists, vendors, such as my co-packer who actually scales up the recipe right here in the food bank's commercial kitchen and professionally bottles, procures my bottles, the fruit, the vinegar. And it's just really nice to even have a great graphic artist that I met here in Rabun County who designs great labels and logos and helps put out that visual magic that is Farm2Cocktail.
Yeah. Last question for you today. You talked about the fact that we're here at the Northeast Georgia Food Bank. Can you just talk about what this facility, to include the teaching kitchen, the commercial kitchen, means to you kind of on a personal level, and why you've chosen this location?
I am definitely delighted to talk about the Northeast Georgia Food Bank. This is a facility that really where I cut my teeth. It was in this teaching kitchen that I was invited to do classes and meet different people and sort of share my love of beverages, to share my love of fresh produce, and just cooking and culinary in general. So the teaching kitchen was a forum by which we would also raise money for the pantry that exists here. Food scarcity is an issue all around the country, but more particularly in this 5-county area that the Northeast Georgia Food Bank serves. And then finally, they have an IQF facility that flash freezes surplus food products that can then later be commercially purchased for institutions, and of course, not to mention the actual commercial facility that bottles and produces my product. So this is home, and I'm really delighted that I'm able to help raise money for this facility year round. And I encourage anyone that is wanting to find a new charity, the Northeast Georgia Food Bank needs to be on that list. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for taking a little bit of time to share your story with folks, and on behalf of the community, for everything that you do to make Rabun County a better place to live and work. I'm the unofficial ambassador. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Roger. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We'll say goodbye now, but we will see you next time, Rabun County.
I really am so grateful for this business, so I try to show that by writing a little handwritten note with every order, thanking them for supporting my small business. So it's always nice that add that little special touch. I sign it, cheers, Carlton. I wanted to introduce you all to James Bram. He's the Mountain Director here at the Northeast Georgia Food Bank. James, thank you for having this great facility for all of us to enjoy and use.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're coming in to do your product. It's really great to have an opportunity to have Carlton come in here and show his different products that he's doing. I think it's really great. This commercial kitchen here is for anybody who wants to come in and rent it out. And it's just great, and just can't wait till y'all get to see the rest of the food bank and the teaching kitchen and the production line. It'll be really great.
Thank you, James.
You're welcome. Thanks.